Try and practice it.
Tennis is probably one of the most accepting, open, loving, passionate cultures here at USF. Pablo has created an environment in which all of his players, who are so diverse and unique, can come together and share one common bond. You bring value to our team no matter who you are, and we're so excited to have you here. Pablo really is the one that is the leader that's pushing that message at all times.
Come on! Dance on three, 1, 2, 3, dance!
I think being in San Francisco, you have to have the mindset that you want to be open to every culture and to every style of person. So having our team be a mix always of foreign players and domestic players is wonderful.
I was excited about going to USF because it was a change of scenery. It was an amazing program, and I grew up in a small town and I just wanted something different.
Orion was coming on at the end of his junior career and won a national tournament and started doing very well. So he was definitely under the radar. I knew that in college, he was going to be stronger, faster, and his game was just going to elevate. Also, he comes from a family that is super driven.
His parents are self-entrepreneurs and starting their own radio business. His sister being an All-American at Arizona.
That really motivated me to do well because I saw all the results and accolades she's getting. She became the second winningest player in Arizona tennis history.
So he already had a mindset that was ready for college and tried to prove not only to the team and to the coaches, but also to his family and his peers that he just really wanted to do well and that he was going to do well.
When Ryan came in as a freshman, he was one of the highest recruits for USF, and he was going to be a pretty vital part of our success. He was one of the strongest players, I would say, on the team at the time, in terms of hitting the ball the hardest.
I came in playing at USF number 4. I won my first 5 matches and they moved me up to 3, and then I won again a couple more matches and then moved me up to 2. It was a lot of pressure being a freshman playing that high in the lineup, but I gained a lot of experience, I think, because when you play those people who are better than you, it pushes you to be better and it brings the best out of you. It was bittersweet. Even though I was having this tremendous freshman year, I was also hiding this huge secret that I was gay. I started feeling different when I was in probably middle school, high school. All my friends were girls. I got along with them the most. I didn't really have any guy friends, so that was a lot different for me than most other guys.
In Palm Desert, our school was pretty big, but everyone knew everything about everyone. If a rumor spread, everyone knew it. So I think it was more of just a fear of him being so well known in the tennis community and in all of the communities in his country club that he was so scared to be who he was. But you could tell something was kind of changing in him where he was like, okay, maybe these aren't just thoughts, or maybe this isn't just a phase. He was getting a little bit more serious with himself.
It was hard just kind of putting on a different face, I think. It wasn't me. I went to bed so many nights just crying or sad. I'm like, why does this have to be me? Hoping to wake up the next day normal.
After his freshman year, he had a good summer, came back and started to definitely, struggle. Not drastic struggles, but mentally, you could tell that he was thinking a lot.
It kind of just hit me because I had no one to talk to here, and it was just a big weight on my shoulders. I started seeing this guy, and I was even hiding a bigger secret at that point now. No one on my team knew, none of my family knew. So that was really hard for me to hide everything. And then I started doing awful in school and awful in tennis. It was really unlike myself.
You could tell that he was, not comfortable with who he was and that he needed to let, who he was out.
It does make you depressed because oh, I'm not this way, I'm different. It puts a huge weight on your shoulders, and sometimes I'd spend the night in my room just sad because I can't tell anyone. And other days I'd just be really happy because I'm not thinking about it.
One of the hardest things for me to think about is hiding who you are. And, I think of just humanity and how people have suffered for no reason, in my opinion. I think society isn't fully open to men being gay in sport. There's just so much wrapped around being a man and not being able to fully embrace any feminine qualities. So I wanted to help Ryan and help him through things, but at the same time as a coach, you just don't want to force somebody to do anything they don't want to do. The biggest thing was I just hoped that he was able to be open with his family first. I know that he loves his parents and his family so much, so that was a really big deal.
It made me sad, I guess, that he couldn't open up to me immediately, but then I kind of took a step back and I was like, okay, wait, I'm his sister, I'm his role model, look at how much I mean to him, of course he's scared to tell me that.
She was like, you don't need to tell mom and dad until you're ready. I'm not gonna tell anyone. It's your decision when you want to tell them.
He explained to us that his parents, that was the most scary part that he was gonna have to face. And at that point, I almost had tears in my eyes because I was like, I can't imagine having to hide this or hide something like this from my parents.
The foundation of Ryan and his parents is love. It's unconditional caring and love and support for one another. And I think that, he was afraid of losing that.
When Ryan told us, it broke our hearts immediately because we felt that, my God, how did he deal with this? Was he alone? Did he share this with anybody? All these years we couldn't, help him through it.
They just felt terrible after the first week. I've never seen my parents like that before.
It was definitely an adjustment for our whole entire family, but I think in the end it made us so much closer. Our family as a whole is 10 times more close than before Ryan came out.
Ryan told me when he got back, he said, hey Steph, do you have a second? I just really feel like now is the right time to tell you something. I need to tell you something. And he just said it. He goes, I'm gay. And he said, I just needed someone to know up here so that I could feel comfortable and start this process.
When Ryan came out, I asked him, would you like me to address the team or would you like to address the team? And he wanted to address the team.
When he came out, it was big relief for him, definitely, and big relief for all the people around him because that's the Ryan we really love, the funny Ryan that expresses himself all the time.
And in the end of the day, the chemistry of the team improved.
A person like Ryan just being in a small group of individuals who've been strong enough to come out in a very resistant culture, in a very resistant world, especially in athletics. It takes a lot of courage, and I think Ryan had expectations not only from his coaches, but also for himself that he was gonna be our number one. Him coming out and him starting this process finally allowed him to fully focus on becoming that, not just needing that. It wasn't long before you just started to see him really succeed on the court and play and be comfortable in his role on the team.
When I became my true 100% authentic self, my relationships with my teammates started to flourish more. I think we became closer as a team. People really started seeing me for me.
He morphed into definitely a happier self, and you can tell that in all of his Instagram photos where from one he was kind of shy, it'd be a group photo with all of his friends, and now he's taking these beautiful selfies with his six-pack out, looking great. You can see his feminine side, his masculine side, and I think it just really made him want to tell more people that he is gay, that he is doing great, that he is amazing.
And being able to be that person at USF and in athletics that could stand up tall with a smile on his face and just own it.
Like, I'm proud to be like who I am now, and like I'm not afraid to like show it.
Like, he's way more free, like the way he is living every day and the way he expresses himself.
It's amazing to feel like I can be a certain way on the court and a certain way off the court. Like, I can have like a dance party in my room or in front of everyone and no one judges me. Or I can just go on the court and be like super pumped and masculine.
For him to be super courageous on the court and be aggressive and go after it, and then also show his other side, just shows that duality in people. And to have that on a team and in sport, especially at the Division I level, it's just great.
I don't think labels should matter. Once you step on the court or the field, you're an athlete, and it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. You're being competitive and you want to win for your team. You want to do the best you can, and I think that's how like society should view it.
Thank you so much for being here. It's such a pleasure to see everybody honoring this handsome guy right here. It's gonna be tough for me to see him go. I'm so pumped that he was part of our program for 4 years.
He's a great guy, he's a great leader, and all the guys respect him, and I love that about this team. Like, they just treat him like one of their own, and just because he's gay, they don't care. And that's a really amazing trait that this team carries, and I don't think it would be the same in every single situation at all colleges.
I think it's been amazing to represent USF, just knowing that I have this like amazing school and support system here.
USF is really supporting and pushing diversity, inclusiveness. So I think that facilitates for a student athlete like Ryan more of an opportunity that he can start to feel comfortable with being in his true skin while he's here.
Ryan.
Ryan, what's your strength?
My back and
He's grown quite a bit, and it couldn't have been at a more perfect place to embrace him and help him through this. But I think a huge part of it is family accepting him.
We love Ryan, and no matter what Ryan does, you know,
We support him.
We're gonna love him, you know.
If Ryan keeps having this work ethic and he keeps being this confident in himself, like, the sky's the limit.
I really think that what Ryan has done here in our community and beyond with who he is gonna help generations. Still being a great student, a great athlete, a great teammate, and being open with who you are. It's just gonna make it easier for others, and I think Ryan's done an amazing job paving the way for the next athletes here, the next athletes at any university that, you know, are, you know, coming out.
Loving yourself is being your authentic self. All you need is one friend to talk to. It makes the world of difference. It can lift so many burdens off your shoulders. And if somebody doesn't accept you for who you are, then it's their loss, because you're perfect just the way you are.